I had one wish in my current position, it would be that we would have more resources to serve our drug and alcohol program in this county. I see that as such a major problem. If you look at our child abuse rate and how high it is, you look at our domestic violence rate and how high it is in this county. I mean, the drug and alcohol use in this county is rampant. And, you know, it's really something that we collectively, with our community partners, have to work on, and of course with law enforcement as well. If you look at AODP today, 3 out of 4 referrals come in through criminal justice. So we are talking adults, you know, and you really have to get into the system in order to get served. We don't have enough resources right now on the front end for prevention and with kids. So I'm really hoping that we could redesign our services to meet those needs. We have approximately $700,000 of general fund dollars in AODP. The rest is all state and federal and grant funding. And so we're trying to hold on to those dollars so that we could provide these services in this community. So we'll talk about this again. Thank you.
But even if more extra dollars don't show up, which probably they won't, can't we divert some of those dollars from well, treating people my age into educating
some of
6 and 7 and 8 year olds?
A lot of the dollars are categorical, which means that they have to serve a certain population or certain target group. However, as we integrate our systems and we look at the total children's system of care, there's ways that we could maximize those services so we could provide greater services to the younger kids and to the families. And I could report back to you on that.
Yeah, we're about 30 years too late, but we need to start.
Yeah, it's that intergenerational problem that we have, but at least we're aware of it, and the fact that you're aware of it and you are the decision makers. So we have hope here, and we have a lot of opportunity to move forward and do some good work. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, 2 items before us were pulled from the consent calendar and discussion about regionalization. We need to take that up as part of the budget discussion process. I applaud Supervisor Smith for continuing to bring it up, but I think the concept has been received. I think we're paying attention to that. We're going to be looking at that. As far as preventative programs, I've always been in favor of eventually, you know, the old saying, if I was king, there'd be $1 of prevention and $1 of incarceration, and eventually there'd be $2 of prevention and a half a dollar of incarceration, and escalate it that way instead of the other way we're going now. When my children were growing up in this community, love it or hate it, the DARE program was at its height. And that took that program into the classrooms and had discussions, had annual, if not monthly discussions. The sheriff's office was involved with the talking pickup truck they had and all those type of things. My kids still talk about that today. So this is not a when funding's available situation. This is a generational change that has to remain in effect long enough to affect the generation. And just say no and the DARE and all those programs were just, you know, they were good while certain regimes were in power. This is a situation that has to continue from one funding mechanism or people in power to the next. And if there's a way we can regionalize it, if there's a way we can continue it from in-house, that's what we need to embrace and move ahead. And we've talked a lot about these two consent items. Any additional, or what's the action that I hear for the board?
Move. The two items, 11 and 12.
11 and 12 have been moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Just a final comment, Mr. Chairman. And when I'm talking about programs for our grammar school youth kids, I don't mean touchy-feely programs. I mean if it's taking them to the morgue and showing them a corpse that died from an overdose, whatever it takes to instill in their brain that, you know, there's a bad side to it. Because frankly, you know, with all of the movies and everything that's out there, it shows just the positive side of it. And we got to, you know, I mean, knock them in the head. Put a program out there that's going to leave a impression in their mind. We're not doing that. And as parents, and I'm a grandparent now, it's it's paramount to me. I mean, it's the future. We're being consumed by these drugs that they make out of rat poison. I mean, it's crazy. We got to somehow intervene, and, you know, of all the wars we got going on in this country, that's the war we should be fighting.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Okay, we have 5 items remaining before us. I'm just going to take them in order. To the CEO's office, legislative and fiscal report.
Paul is here and will provide that for you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, board members, Adrian's distributing the initial legislative watch list for the 2008 legislative season for the staff and members of the public who are listening over the internet. This list is now on the internet site. It's on the county executive officer site on the Mendocino County webpage. And it's available for staff as well as the public to view. And we've kept all the columns the same, but you'll see under the bill number now that if any board member or staff or public wants to click on the hyperlink that is on the far left-hand column, it will bring up the actual language of the bill over the internet. I did go over this list yesterday with the General Government Committee, and there are 2 bills that I want to draw the board's attention to try to move you towards a position. The first one would be AB 1889. Originally, I put this bill on the watch list because I was going through legislative members' bills that they're carrying. This one looked like an interesting local issue, and I placed it on the bill just to watch. And the General Government Committee picked up on it yesterday. And SB 1516, which is the library construction bond. The librarian came into the General Government Committee yesterday and recommended support, and the General Government Committee agreed and wanted it to be brought to the full board for a support position. So with that, I'll return it to the board. Oh, if I'm not clear, on 1889, the General Government Committee directed me to contact the school district. I contacted the school district and spoke to them, and the General Government Committee wanted to take a support position on that bill.
Comments from the board, from the committee members? Supervisor Delbar.
Well, I'm not one of the committee members, but why would we want to be taking a position on a bill that impacts the school district?
I could comment on that from the
I'd
committee.
like to, because as a parent, I'm opposed to the bill, but
Well, that was not my recollection of the discussion. It wasn't that the board, that the committee suggested saying support. It was, gee, it's a watch, let's just, what is the school district thinking? And just contact the school district. So my recollection, we'll ask Supervisor Colfax as well, is we didn't have a position on it. But we did speak with the library director on SB 1516, and we did say, yes, let's, we heard from her, there was good information, and it would be good for us to be on record as supporting that. Maybe to Supervisor Colfax.
I'm sorry, I don't know which one Supervisor Delbar is referring to.
AB
well, I may have
1889.
misheard
down.
Mr. Kaler. It was AB 1889.
1889 was that since this was something that the Potter Valley School District apparently was advocating, that it may be something we would want to support, and Mr. Kaler was directed to contact the school district